Hello, hello. I'm Bridget from bridgetsastrology.com.au and welcome to my week ahead for the 11th through to the 17th of March 2024. And I don't know about you, but I have a Pisces rising, and this Pisces drowning moment is definitely got me feeling the struggles. So I hope that I can adequately explain the week ahead to you. So by this time, we would have just had that new moon in Pisces. So for Monday the 11th, we still have the moon in Pisces up until 11:20 a.m. where it moves into Aries. Now we also have Mercury fresh into Aries. So now Mercury did not like being in Pisces. It makes it really hard to explain what it's talking about. So still so much water influence. But like I said, we're starting to get a little bit more fire in there. And Mercury now in Aries is actually going to go through a Mercury retrograde cycle, which starts on the it starts at 15 degrees. And so I will let you know next week when that is. But anyway, let's get back into Monday. All right. So now once the moon moves into Aries at 11:20, we're going to have a little bit more ability to communicate effectively. It's going to be much more strategic. I feel like all of these plans that we're drumming up, Saturn in Pisces is making us determined to make these things a reality. All right, the new moon was also in between uh Saturn and Neptune. So, and as those two grow together closer by January 2025, it is just the effort required to concrete what we're thinking. All right, so, and it's sort of like trying to dam up a river. There's no, the flow is flowing, and we've just got to slow down and be very, very deliberate about what we're doing. All right, so now at 2:15, the moon is conjunct Mercury, so we will be able to adequately express what we're feeling. And just before that, at 1:37, there is a sextile to Pluto. So this is great as well for having these things come up that need to be considered. All right. So like I said, strategic planning, the time for dreaming is over, sort of. It's just time to start making a move. And like I was saying a minute ago, Mercury is actually going to be in retrograde in Aries. So even though we're moving forward, we're going to get to a point that we will review what we've been thinking and then move forward again, because it is in Aries until mid-May. So a lot of time where we can be very dynamic, but also we might be a little bit impatient. So just for now, write things down and be strategic. All right, I think that's enough for Monday. Let's go forward to Tuesday. All right, so Tuesday, Venus moves into Pisces on Tuesday. So she is exalted in Pisces. So she is in her most beautiful garb. She is sensitive, psychic, compassionate, empathetic, which is a bit what is needed. She's been out in the community, and now, so she's come down from the boardroom when she was in Capricorn. She's been out into the community, seeing what everybody needs. And now is her time where she's at her greatest strength to actually get something done. All right. And with everything in Aries, even though it's ruled by Mars, I feel like we are going to start, making headway on things that need to be done. Now, we can tune into our senses. Now, the moon on Tuesday is also going to come up to conjunct the North Node and Chiron. All right, so we are very aware of what direction we need to be moving, but we're also going to be connecting in with things that have previously hurt us, or, maybe that old wound might be revisited, or it might even be a time where we're like, no, you're not going to stop me anymore. Okay, because we do have that empathy and we can feel in to what we need to be doing to move forward. Also, the sun is coming up to conjunct a Hygeia in the next couple of days. So we are thinking about our mental health and well-being. And when it comes up to conjunct Neptune, that just puts it to even deeper into that space. Okay. So that's pretty much it for Tuesday. Okay, so let's have a look at Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday, the moon moves into Taurus at 11:28 a.m. All right, so we've got a little bit of a feisty morning, and then the moon moves into Taurus at 11:28. Now at 2 p.m., we have the moon sextile Venus, which it is ruling. All right, so once it's into Taurus, it is ruled by Venus, not Mars. But at the same time, it's square Pluto. So we could be realize so a square to Pluto is bringing up some harsh truths, but the sextile is allowing us to integrate those comfortably. All right, so this is the acknowledgement of some, like I said, some maybe uncomfortable truths, but it's allowing conversation to start and for things to be resolved, because when you shy away from things, you're just allowing it to grow in its own space and power. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right. So, and if you start a conversation with pure intention, then, it's way more beneficial to all of those people involved, because you're not being snarky and you're not being power driven. You're just like, this needs to be resolved for everybody to be at their best. All right. So that is Wednesday. I'm speeding through this one. Okay. So Thursday. Now, Thursday, we've got a very, very busy morning. All right. So the moon is coming up to conjunct Jupiter at 10 past 10 in the morning. So this is beautiful for, acknowledging, we've got understanding, we've got, that bigger picture view. There's a sense of spirituality. Now, there is, the sun is growing closer to Neptune and Hygeia. So we are in that spiritual subliminal space where things could easily feel a little bit ungrounded. There's still a lot of water there. And as you can see there, Mercury is coming up closer to the North Node. It is driving ahead. Now, interestingly, the Mercury goes retrograde at 15 degrees. So it goes retrograde on the North Node. Okay, so we're going ahead and we're like, oh, I'm going to do this so I can keep moving ahead. And then it's like, stop, reverse. All right, there's all these things I didn't consider because I rushed ahead so much. So maybe while we're getting ready for this shadow retrograde period to start, be a little bit more thorough and a little bit more considerate of the fact that, let's not rush, let's be strategic. Okay. And this might even just be part of that moon coming up to conjunct Jupiter. Let's just be a little bit more thorough and educate ourselves so we really, really understand what is going on. All right, now the moon is going to conjunct that Uranus at 9 p.m. So, there could be changes over the day. And that might just be because, like I said, we're educating and understanding things a little bit deeper and allowing ourselves to change trajectory if need be. Okay. And that was pretty much what I wrote in the words as well. All right, let's move forward to Friday. Okay, so now on Friday, we have the Taurus moon for most of the day. It goes into Gemini at 2:16 p.m. All right, so we've got that sun very close to Hygeia, which is coming up to close to that Neptune. It's just making everything like really confusing, hard to speak, hard to hold on to our thoughts and our words. We might not be able to express ourselves. We might do a lot of hand gestures and funny noises because we're trying to express the feeling and losing our words as we do it. All right, so Friday is definitely another day where you may need to deliberately stop and ground yourself so that you can set yourself up for whatever is coming. All right. You know what you need to be doing, so support yourself as best as you can. And there's a beautiful sextile at some point during the day between that moon and Neptune. So, just allow yourself to go with the flow, especially now that Venus is in Pisces and she's just like floating along, little fishy. All right, so let's move forward to Saturday. All right, so Saturday, the moon is in Gemini, being ruled by that very, very impatient Mercury in Aries, and he's just charging ahead really, really fast. As you can see in this thing here, we've got the sun has passed that conjunction to Hygeia, which was at 10 p.m. on Friday night. So you might just come out of this, and even though we're moving towards that Neptune, we know exactly what it is that we need. I mean, in this case, we could be doing, we know that we need to be meditating more to have our mental clarity. We know that we need to be doing things like yoga or swimming or, communicating effectively. Um, so yeah, and Venus is also coming up. I mean, it's quite wide at the moment. The Venus is coming up to conjunct Saturn. So this is great as well for us to keep to be deliberate and responsible and I've lost my words. Thanks. Anyway, we're doing the things we know we need to do. So the best way I can explain that one. All right. So for Saturday, things might feel like they are just slipping through your fingers. When I was doing the words for this one, MC Hammer's Can't Touch This was playing over and over in my head. So I have written that. And it, like I said, it just might feel like things are flowing through your fingers. There is a sextile to Mercury at 9 a.m., which is good because the moon is being ruled by Gemini, which is Mercury's sign. So we might be able to communicate better in the morning. But when we come up to 11 a.m., there is a square to Saturn. So Mercury, being very impatient, might get very frustrated with the fact that there's some blockages, or what you wanted to happen is being stopped. But if you're patient, you might find that it was exactly what was needed to happen, because maybe there's still things evolving. All right, so have patience on Saturday. All right. So yeah, listen carefully and speak deliberately. So think before you just speak, because again, the flow, there is just things flipping through everywhere. All right, so let's go through to Sunday. Okay, so now we have the Gemini moon all day. The moon does not move into Cancer until 8:40 p.m. All right. And that moon Neptune conjunction. Oh, so 8:40 p.m. for the moon going into Cancer, 10 p.m. for that moon conjunct Neptune. All right, so any tension around in the morning may just spur us on to take the action that is needed. The tension's going to come from, we've got the first quarter moon, all right? So there's, action is growing. So there's a little bit of tension, but it's pushing us in the right direction. And there is a trine to Mars, which is also giving that a boost that we need to just get moving. But I mean, if it is the Neptune, if you are struggling with the Neptune watery realm, Sun Neptune, maybe you can go for a walk in nature or get to a body of water. I would normally say the beach, but like we have a pond or a dam. Just go, and maybe you could do some ritual or honoring of the fact that there is this much water in the air, and just it's a once a year thing, Sun Neptune, so enjoy it because it's almost past, which is great. All right, so take a minute to sit with your feelings, because we also have Mercury coming up to conjunct that North Node Chiron. So we are thinking, and I don't know if Mercury is quite fast at the moment. So just taking a minute to think, or pay attention to what we are thinking. And because when it does come up to that conjunction to Chiron, we don't want it to be a surprise. So yeah, just it's all up here right now. It's all up here, and it's so intangible. So that is my breakdown for the week of the 11th through to the 17th. So I hope this helps you. I know I've been struggling. But anyway, if you would like to like, share, or comment, I always answer my comments. And you can also come, and if you want to join the lives in the morning, over at Lifetime to Level Up on Facebook, or you can join my mailing list at widgetsastrology.com.au, and this can get delivered straight to your inbox on Monday morning. So thank you so much for watching, and take care. Have a great watery week, and I will see you next week.